Right, welcome to the first show day vlog. So we actually started kind of vlogging the show day, but then it kind of went to shit after the first kind of probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we didn't really record that much vlogging stuff. So we thought we'll just sit down and give you guys a bit of an overview, and we'll overlap a load of the show day footage that we recorded, and just talk you through the two shows that we did basically, which were last week. So did you want to kick off with how you found everything?
So as Jake just said, we did two shows. So we did a Saturday-Sunday combination. On the Saturday we did the UKDFBA Heart of England, and on the Sunday we did the PCA Midlands. They were about an hour away from each other, so it kind of made sense to do. And we just got an Airbnb halfway and commuted in.
So the main difference between the UKDFBA is the Natural Bodybuilding Federation in the UK, or one of them. So that was one we did on Saturday, and then the PCA is an untested federation, which is one we did on Sunday. So that's kind of the main difference between the two, just for anyone that's not familiar with the federations.
Anyway, the story of show number one. So show number one, UKDFBA show. Jake competed in bodybuilding short. I obviously competed in men's physique medium. And what place did we end up?
So we both ended up, we'll throw some pictures up or some videos or something, but we both ended up placing second basically in our classes. So it was kind of, for us, I know for a lot of people, it's one of those things we had a discussion like this after. For a lot of people, they'll be happy with a second place or a top three placing. But especially for us, we go there to win, do you know what I mean? Not to come second. If you come second, you're basically just the first loser. So that, I think we both share that kind of idea on things. So at the same time though, I think for myself personally, I definitely was not in anywhere near the condition that I knew I could get in, and kind of was just way just not there basically. It was obviously the first qualifier. I knew that I was going to go into it at 70%, but I think in reality I was probably 20%. I just looked. I personally think I look crap.
Jake.
But I look a lot different now.
Look crap, still come second.
Yeah,
still beat someone.
It was one of those things where it was the first show after 3 years of not competing for myself. So yeah, it was for me. It was, the whole thing was a bit of a disappointment in terms of what I brought, but at the same time, it just
there's loads of things to take into consideration. Were your first time doing a natural bodybuilding show, going from classic/men's physique to bodybuilding. So
Josh there to
Jake's really mean to himself, so I'm just trying to soften the blow.
But no, that's
I also came second. I was beat by someone that, without sounding big-headed and not discrediting the lad at all, but on my best day, I would have beat the physique that he presented. But it wasn't my best day, so therefore I came second. It was a pretty big lineup. There were 36 guys in men's physique in total, which is that's sizable to say the least.
Yeah, you kind of convince yourself that coming the first loser was alright.
Yeah. I beat 34 other people, but still, I'm fuming. Now,
again.
But essentially for both of us, there's so much more to give that we have given since then. And whatever show we do next, I know which one I'll be doing next. Jake will discuss that later on.
We'll bring that up in a later vlog. But we both basically, that was the first show of many. We've got more coming up. Obviously we're gonna continue making videos leading up to the later shows this year, so this is just the start. Obviously the first show day as general, obviously the UKDFBA, I think it's my first time doing a UKDFBA show, competing in it. It's not yours, so is it? You've done one before?
I competed last year as a junior, and it were under weird circumstances, of course, because of COVID, and it's a bit different to other federations.
Yeah, I was going to say with the UKDFBA, because they're a smaller federation. So it's with myself, I'm used to competing. In the past, I've competed with the IFBB, so I'm used to competing in big shows with lots and lots and lots of people, and obviously in men's physique, which is the whole thing is basically just a completely different experience.
Yeah.
So going into a regional UKDFBA small show, for me personally, I didn't necessarily enjoy the experience as much, because I didn't think it was as competitive. I think they're great for first time competitors, and obviously if you are natural, it makes sense to compete in a natural federation. But just honestly, just nothing wrong with the federation, nothing wrong with the show. But for me personally, it almost confirmed that that's not really the direction that I want to go in with things potentially in the future. But yeah, obviously I think you kind of half felt a similar sort of thing.
Yeah,
But
I think it was just a super long day. Obviously, we're both a little bit sour about our results. Not that there weren't anything wrong with the judging or anything like that. We just wanted, we both go.
No, I think one of the good things about the UK FBA is that the actual judging, like, it's probably like out of all the judging, like, they kind of, I know one of the judges came back in, when I came off stage and gave me some feedback and stuff, which is like unheard of. So in terms of like judging, in terms of like the
sense of community,
in terms of like how
it's like
run,
really nice,
really,
really, yeah.
So
it's like a big family.
Big Natty family.
Big Natty family.
So,
that's how I would describe the UKDFBA.
Basically, if you're a first timer, if you're like new to bodybuilding and you're natural, like, definitely go and compete with those guys. Obviously, the next day we kind of did back-to-back shows. So we actually ended up tanning ourselves again on the Sunday morning in our Airbnb.
And we did not make a mess one bit. If anyone thinks that like fake tanning each other is messy, it's really not. It was really, really clean. And Miriam, our lovely Airbnb host, he agreed. He actually sent me a message saying how tidy the flat was, and he definitely didn't say that he wouldn't have us again.
So, what is going on here, Josh?
We're just topping up the tan. This is like the glamorous bit of bodybuilding that you don't really get to see. So yeah, Jake's just put an extra layer on my back. We've ruined the Airbnb. Sorry, Miriam. We're very sorry. So, yeah, great fun.
Yeah, definitely not going to be welcome back. But then we did the PCA show the next day, which again was a very different experience. Like I had some clients competing over the weekend as well, which obviously made things a little bit different for myself. We competed on the Sunday PCA show. I did classic bodybuilding. Again, it was just kind of see what the federation's like, new division, all that sort of stuff. And you did men's physique, didn't you? And I think we both.
I did men's physique short because apparently I've shrunk.
He's short, yeah. But I think we both enjoyed that day a bit more in general in terms of like. I think with the PCA shows are, I wouldn't say they're run better, but they're run a lot more efficient, which is understandable because they probably got like more funding. There's more people who compete with the PCA, so naturally they're going to be more efficient in the way that they're run. Like
they have like a show every week, so it's no surprise that they're like dush. Yeah, overall's done.
Yeah. So like maybe for a first timer, it might not be quite as good because they are a little bit more rushed. But like someone for us, like especially for myself, like I don't necessarily enjoy like waiting around. I don't enjoy like necessarily show day itself. I enjoy the process. So it's like for me, I kind of want to get there, get on stage, get it done, and like that's kind of it.
Yeah.
With the UK FBA on this Saturday, obviously we're waiting around. I didn't step on stage till like 4 o'clock. Josh didn't step on stage till the evening.
Till 7:30 p.m.
Yeah. So it was like dark by the time. Whereas on the Sunday, I think I competed by like 11 a.m.
Something like that. I were off before 2 p.m. So super quick. We were home by 8 p.m. Look, absolute dream. Venue were great. The production were great. The results, I took another second, so I got beat by another guy. However, this guy was coached by this guy. So
although it was a loss, it wasn't because we still kept it in the team. We still kept it in the team. So obviously it just happened to be that my client on the day, Daniel, which I'll throw up a bit of footage, a picture of him now because obviously he was on stage. Josh was actually in Josh's class, and actually him and Josh ended up coming first and second. So
it was really nice. And honest to God, Daniel, I'm sure you're watching. He's the nicest guy. So like, go and give him a follow on Instagram. He's such a legend. I've never seen someone win and like just instantly we're like opening a champagne bottle of like emotions. It was beautiful. It's like what you want to see when you're competing or if you go to a show. It was wonderful.
So I think like for me as well, from the Sunday perspective and from the weekend, like I had 3 clients competing. Obviously Daniel was just one of them. He ended up obviously winning on a Sunday, first ever show, won the men's physique class, looked insane. And that for me like kind of took precedent over me competing myself. Like I enjoyed that a lot more, and it was just great to like see, great to be a part of. So I came like top 5 in my like classic bodybuilding class, which again I just didn't look great. I just looked way off. I was holding too much body fat, needed longer in prep, but as you will see, the body fat will come off in the later shows, and the physique will also change. But like that whole thing kind of made the experience better, and obviously Josh came second as well. So it was.
Yeah, I came second. I'm happy with that. We talk about transitions from like previous shows or previous seasons. this is my first season as an open men's physique competitor. I have competed in open classes before, but this is the first time that like I can't compete as a junior. Like no matter what I do, I've got to compete in the open. So I'm against, how old is Daniel? Like 32?
I'm not sure of his age off the top of my head.
I think he's like 30, 31, 32, around that.
Nah,
I'm 24, so I'm competing against people that's got like 5 to 10 years on me. So
that is the thing when like if you are someone who's over 23, so juniors is usually like under 23. Once you go over that mark, you're going to be competing with people who are in their 30s, who have like muscle maturity, who have been training a lot longer. So same goes to me now. I'm no longer a junior. So you know, I think the last time I was competing, I was technically still a junior, even though I wasn't competing with the juniors. So like now, obviously, I'm not a junior anymore. Competing against like bodybuilders, especially in like the PCA show, obviously being natural, like you're going to go up against enhanced guys as well. So your expectations have to be like, you know, realistic. You're competing against guys who've a lot more experience, who've been doing what you've been doing for a lot longer, and are obviously enhanced. So you've got to be realistic with those federations if you are natural. But they're great. Again, they're great to compete in. Great to see like where you stand. And yeah, obviously you can still do well in them as natural. But I think like lessons learned for like myself from like so far this prep would be that firstly I probably would start prep in a leaner position next time. So it's not to say that I wouldn't push my off season as far, but I would like start prep leaner, and I would also basically that would probably like solve the problem of being ready earlier, basically, which is kind of a combination of it. But what about yourself?
I would say to go a little bit more aggressive earlier on. Like this prep for me, it's been the most energy expenditure, it's the most cardio that I've ever done, and my body can handle it. Like I've almost been scared to do it in the past. My biggest lesson would be that I shouldn't be scared and I should put my foot on the gas a little bit earlier. Yeah, the foot is very much on the gas now, but if I'd have done that 4 weeks earlier, I think it would have been a different result at both shows. However, the foot is very much applied to the gas now, and very, very much aiming for that top spot in every single show that I've got lined up for the rest of this year.
Yeah, so I think we're both coming to win now. I think we both are. After the previous show, it's kind of, I think you can either go two ways. After not winning a show, you can either go two ways. You can either like look at it as like, oh, I'm a loser, like I'm just not going to compete anymore, sort of thing, or whatever you want to kind of go in that sort of direction. Or you can use it as like fuel and use it to kind of like push you harder, and obviously go into the next shows like gunning for that first place and doing absolutely, leaving nothing to chance. So it's like for me personally, I like, I've said that I'm not stepping on stage until I'm 100%, and I know that what I step on stage with is like the absolute best I can produce. So whether that be with the UKDFBA finals in just over 2 weeks' time, or some shows that are slightly later on, we will see. But one thing for sure is that I think I'm like 10 pounds lighter at the moment than I was on show day. So yeah, it's quite a big jump.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Anything else to add, Jacob? I
think that's pretty much it.
I think we nailed that one take.
Yeah, obviously stay tuned for the next video, because we will be obviously doing another vlog documenting the lead up to the next show. But yeah, obviously I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions regarding competing for the first time or in any other shows, federations, so on and so forth, drop them down below. I'm more than happy to help. And yeah, obviously stay tuned for the next ones.
Yeah, like and subscribe, guys. Yeah, see you in the next one.